From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Ready? Okay, great. Board to reconvene. This PM session this afternoon should be lighter than this morning. We will get right to it. Roll call. Madam Clerk, would you please call attendance?
Supervisor Gleason?
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener?
Here.
Supervisor Maggard?
Here.
Supervisor Couch?
Here.
Supervisor Perez?
Here, thank you. And good afternoon, Kern County. At this point, I'm going to ask our County Counsel, Ms. Raizan, to please provide a report on actions taken in closed session. Ms. Raizan?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members. This morning, or this afternoon in closed session, your board had the following matters before them. Item number 67 was withdrawn. You heard items 68, 69, and 70. However, there is no reportable action.
Thank you very much, Ms. Raizan. Again, as mentioned during our 9 o'clock board session, the County of Kern provided notice that as a result of the declared federal, state, and local emergencies due to the COVID-19 pandemic and in light of the governor's order, the Board of Supervisors meeting is not physically open to the public. Testimony and general public comment could be given through email or telephone to the clerk or board prior to today's meeting. We will begin by considering the consent agenda. All items listed with a capital C, capital A are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the board or public wishes to comment or ask questions. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session items. Madam Clerk, were there any public comments submitted on any consent agenda items?
Yes, we did have one. Did you want to read through the consent agenda before we consider comments?
Yes, you said we have one speaker?
We have one written comment that I'm going to read into the record.
And nobody waiting?
We did have one person sign up, but I'm checking to see if
I saw one, but not on?
Not on at this time.
Okay, consent matters begin on page 2 and include item 4. On page 3, items 5 through 9. On page 4, item 10 is a correction and remains on consent. Please strike the recommended action in all caps and replace with continue to Tuesday, July 14, 2020 at 2 p.m. That's our next board session date. Yes. Items 11 and 14 remain on consent unless otherwise ordered. Page 5, items 15 through 22. On page 6, items 23 through 29. On page 7, items 30 through 36. On page 8, items 37, 38, 40 through 42. On page 9, items 43 through 52. And finally, on page 10, item 53. Still no public comment, just the one writing? Okay, please incorporate that into the record now.
Okay, this is an email from Merlin Nielsen. This is regarding item number 4, the Big Bow Solar Project, summary vacations. Honorable County Supervisors, I am in favor of the Big Bow Solar Project, subject to the following additions to their project. Inclusion of my 10 acres on Dawn Road at 110th Street West, APN 474-120-2000, to their project area. In reviewing the project area map of the 2,285 acres, it includes 7 isolated parcels highlighted that are not adjacent to the large project area. This tells me that they can include my 10 acres in their project. Not including my 10 acres will lose its highest and best use for any other projects. Or, number 2, guaranteed inclusion of my 10 acres on Dawn Road at 110th Street West, APN 474-120-2000, to future project area of the Bullhead Solar LLC by EDF Renewable Inc. Guaranteed inclusion to the future Bullhead Solar LLC EDF Renewable Inc. will give me assurance that my 10 acres will not lose its highest and best use if not included in the Big Bow solar project, ensuring me of the preservation of its highest and best use for their future new projects or expansion projects. Your approval consideration on this matter will affect the current value of the highest and best use of my land investment. That is the only public comment. We do not, we do have a caller on the line. One moment.
Okay. Is it the caller that had signed up, Heather Thomas?
Yes, it is. So, Ms. Thomas, if you would unmute your mic by pressing *6, I believe you wanted to address the same item, item number 4, and you will have 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. I would like to address the problem of the ambient particulates in the air that this solar farm conglomeration out here is now causing Antelope Valley. The air quality has dropped to poor, and we are considered the worst or most unhealthy city in the state of California and possibly the United States. Now, I know that you guys are dead set on, you know, you don't seem to care about anything, I understand, south of Avenue A and east of 90th, which is the Kern County border for LA County. But I assure you that this is not acceptable. You can't, you know, the solar panels that are currently being installed are 10% efficient. If you put in more of the same quality solar panels, you are just trying to put a nail in so many people's coffins, including children now, because childhood asthma is on the rise here. It's very inconsiderate, not to mention it's against all of the environmental acts and clean air laws that you have mentioned in that 1,480-page environmental impact report. Every single one that is mentioned in there, I looked up, and it is in complete violation of those Environmental Clean Air Act. The last couple of days have been absolutely miserable here. The dirt is like flying, and you can see where it's coming from. You can see that it's coming from the solar farms and from where they're intentionally the 2,290 acres up near my family's 25-acre property. And so you're going to coat everything in dirt. Every single thing is being coated in that fine talcum dirt. And it is miserable. You can't, if COVID gets cured, we're not going to be able to take off our masks because we'll have to continuously wear them. And to clean your house one day and have it just a slight breeze bring back all the dirt again, we shouldn't have this problem. With no one hardly working or going to the office, our air should be clean. And it is the dirtiest air.
Can I ask you to wrap up, ma'am, please? I'm so sorry to do that to you. I always hate it, but you are over time.
I know. Okay, no problem.
Thank you for your passion and your call.
Yes, you know, I just don't know what we're going to do with our property. I would be willing to negotiate for my family to sell the property to the solar companies.
Well, thank you, and we will make sure that they know that those conversations can resume and do not involve the county directly, of course, as those are private matters. Thank you for your call, and we will take your input into consideration, I promise you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, no other further public comment on that matter?
Not on any consent agenda items, no.
Okay, thank you. Are there any board members who would like to pull an item from consent? If not, I will entertain a motion on consent and adjourn to Board of Supervisors, adjourn as Board of Supervisors, and reconvene as Kern Sanitation Authority.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
The board is now sitting as the Kern Sanitation Authority and will consider the KSA consent agenda. Under the consent agenda, we have one item, item C1. Are there any members of the public or the authority that would like to pull the item off consent? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda and to adjourn as Kern Sanitation Authority and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
And Madam Chair, I'll confirm we had no public comment regarding this.
Okay, thank you.
So moved.
We have a motion. Second, please cast your votes.
Motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, we're going to move to public presentations this afternoon, which is item number 2. Kathy? I believe we have members of the public teed up. Three, maybe?
We actually, we don't have any people on the line, but we do have one public comment, a voicemail that was received just recently. It's the same woman who was trying to address us, who we couldn't
Got
hear
cut
her,
off?
Sarah Worson. So
Oh, great.
we're going to hear her voice message now.
Great.
Hi, my name is Sarah Wersan. My first name is spelled with an H at the end. My last name is spelled Wersan. I'm commenting about agenda item number 28 that was discussed today. And after waiting for 3 hours, for some reason, I could not be heard. It wasn't working technologically. So I live in Ridgecrest, and I'm relieved that our library is going to remain open, but I'd like to speak about the library system as a whole, because only 8 of the 24 branches are supposed to be kept open after the COVID restrictions are lifted. The libraries provide access to internet, Wi-Fi, dedicated census computers, air conditioning for homeless people, children's activities and lunches for the summer, interlibrary loan, literacy help, job search services, world-class library services in remote rural communities, and a caring and qualified staff. And so in these times of COVID and isolation and budget cuts, I think that the library needs to be a priority in the budget and not one of the first things to go on the chopping block. Thank you very much for your consideration. I just wish that I could have made my comments in the meeting. Thank you.
Well, ma'am, if you're still listening, oh, that was a voicemail.
So it sounded live, didn't it?
It sure did. She's good, and maybe she's listening now. And if so, I want to remind her and the public that we have more conversations pending around this issue. I really appreciate your advocacy of the libraries, given that we are the least literate population of 250,000 or above in the United States of America, and the linkage to our workforce preparation and ability to compete in this or a larger economy is so contingent upon literacy and the ability to close the skills gap. This is an issue that's very important to me. I believe in many regards it will be on the chopping block, and that may be inevitable, but certainly your input is going to influence the minds of the electeds up here, and I ask that you please continue to advocate for literacy and the ability to compete for our own well-being. Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to move right along then to board member announcements or reports. Gentlemen, anything from you? I don't see anyone punched in. Okay, we're going to move right along then to item number 39 under the County Administrative Office, Human Resources Division, Mr. Alsup and Mr. Brown. Proposed resolution implementing an early retirement incentive program for employees in bargaining units 1-6, 8, D, L, N, N, P, R, T, V, W, X, and Z, effective July 21, 2020 through September 30, 2020. Thank you, Mr. Alsup, and the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm pleased to bring this item to you in such short order. If you remember, on May 19th of this year, we did a presentation regarding the budget shortfalls that we anticipate both in this fiscal year coming up, fiscal year 2020, 2021, and then fiscal year 21, 22, and some significant challenges that we're all going to face as an organization in responding to those budget shortfalls. So this item, in working with our unions, we were able to develop an early retirement incentive program. This is not similar to our Golden Handshake program that's in county policy and in MOUs with bargaining units. This is a different reimagined program that will help the county potentially achieve some short-term savings over the course of 2 years and be able to get us through this tough time. So the bargaining units that we're in agreement are most of our bargaining units. The exceptions our fire union. They didn't agree to sign on to the savings program, and our probation officers and probation managers unions were not in agreement with moving forward with this program. But every other bargaining group did sign onto it and is looking forward to allowing their membership to utilize the program. So I want to explain a little bit for your board's education and also to anybody in our employee and workforce out there listening, specifically what this program is. It certainly is obviously geared towards those employees who have been with us a number of years and are either on the precipice of retirement or are considering the option of retiring early. And it's geared towards sort of a win-win solution for the county and that participant, giving them an incentive to retire early. So the program is geared around our health benefits plans, our retiree health plans. If many of you know, they are very expensive, and healthcare is still one of the major costs for anybody out there in our country. Specifically, our retiree plans go up exorbitantly and present an obstacle at some points to people retiring when they want to. So we're trying to acknowledge that, and we certainly do acknowledge that challenge, and build a program around that. And what we creatively decided on was utilizing the premium percentage that our active employees pay, which is 20% of the total premium cost that the county as a whole pays. So we pick up 80%, an active employee picks up 20%. And the idea is that they will carry that 20% on through the first 2 years of retirement. They won't pick up the full cost like our retirees normally do. And so it's an additional stipend that we're going to provide to cover the excess costs. It's related to our medical plan only. I just want to be very clear on that. Dental and vision coverage is separate in retirement. And so those plans will be still available to retirees, but they'll have to cover the whole cost of that. It does cover dependents, but it doesn't cover child dependents above, I believe, 18 years of age. And that's consistent with our current retiree policies for health plans. So that doesn't change. But they will see a significant savings in the cost of healthcare in the first 2 years of retirement. If our employees have the luxury of having paid into the retirement health supplement program, that certainly is going to play into the amount that the county has to pay additionally, because we were already committed to paying that stipend benefit. But the bottom line is that an early retiree participant in this program will carry on with their 20% medical premium into retirement for 2 years. The trade-off and what helps us achieve some savings is that if a participant gets approved by their department head in our office, the position that they're vacating has to remain vacant and unfunded for 2 years for that entire incentive program lifetime. And so what we're projecting is modest savings of $1 million, and that really is around 6 participants if you go with the average salary of our county workforce. So if 6 people sign up for this program and get approved, we estimate that the savings will be about $1 million over the 2-year period. It's hard to gauge how many people are going to be approved for this program. I know some departments have difficulty, with hiring freezes and all that stuff going on, filling vacant positions already, and so they might be hesitant to let a position stay vacant for 2 years. We might have positions that are singleton classifications where we only have one person performing a function, so that'll be difficult to determine whether we can approve those types of retiree participants. But it certainly is another option that our employees and the county as a whole can entertain as we're trying to find every way possible to mitigate and manage the challenges financially that we're having in this fiscal year and the next fiscal year. So the window of opportunity is specifically tied to our open enrollment in the fall. And so if approved today, we would open the participant program immediately. We have a form that employees can access and fill out and submit to their department for approval. The window will close on September 30th of 2020, so at the end of this first quarter of the fiscal year. So we get a good sense of how much participation that we have, and hopefully mitigate some of the other potential changes that we might be contemplating at this time. So the participants will have to enter into active retirement before September 30th, so they have to go into active retirement, and they will be unable to come back as retirees for that 2-year period of time. So they're not getting the benefit and then also getting a retiree salary at the same time. So there's a few restrictions that are involved in it like that. They're very clearly spelled out in the resolution that's attached to this board letter. And we plan on having a workshop held by our office, of course virtually, so that people can get more information and certainly learn whether this is something viable for them to consider. And then we are working very closely with our department points of contact to educate them on what this program is and get the information out. And so that's part of the main focus, is educating and marketing this program and getting it off the ground, and we're looking forward to doing that. So we recommend your board approve this resolution. Like I said, it covers all of our bargaining units with the exception of our fire union and our probation union and our probation managers union. And certainly if those unions come around to wanting to participate in this program, we would open the door to them as well in the future. But we recommend your approval of this program by adopting the attached resolution and directing it to my office to implement. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much. Kathy, do we have members of the public who would like to weigh in on this issue?
Not on this issue, no.
Okay. Thank you, Devin, for your work on this matter. Gentlemen, do you have any comments, questions? If not, we should pursue action.
Move approval.
Thank you, David.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Kathy, I understand before we adjourn, we do have one voicemail message that we did not catch. And
right. Madam Chair, we just received it, and the reason I really would like to go back and reopen public comment is because the message came from a woman who actually traveled from Arvin to attend our board meeting, not realizing there was no public access. So she actually returned home and called in, and just called in. She wants to address the issue of illegal fireworks in the Arvin area. So I have provided the voice message to our Kern County Television staff, and they're in the process of loading it so we can hear it.
Okay. Can we then let the public know what our agenda schedule is like for the remainder of the summer, which is July and August, just so we're on the same page and while we wait?
Absolutely. So your board will be not meeting next week, the week of 4th of July, or after 4th of July. We will meet on July 14th at 9 a.m. We will then meet again on Monday, July 27th in the evening, 6 p.m. to conduct the Truth Act Forum
That's right.
with the Sheriff's Department. And then you will have regular session on Tuesday, July 28th.
Got it. So for the month of July, we have the 14th, the 27th evening, 6 p.m. forum hearing on the Truth Forum, and then on the 28th, we have board session.
That is correct.
So 2 board sessions for the month of July.
Okay, yes.
Excellent. And it appears our voicemail message is ready to be heard.
Should be coming through now.
My name is Joy Kennedy, J-O-Y, last name K-E-N-N-E-D-Y. I live in north of Arvin in a little area called Edmonton Acres. It's 2 short streets, 2 blocks each, with an alley in between. The agenda item, and I hope it's on your agenda, is fireworks. For this month, I know it's totally illegal, but we are really having a problem with it in our neighborhood. A lot of disturbing of the peace, a lot of smoke, a lot of very, very loud noise that shakes the windows even. Little children screaming because they're frightened, and a lot of people gathering together to witness them. And for my own personal selfish thing, it is very, very horrendous for the animals to have to deal with. I have lost a dog twice now. I just got her back again today, and she's been gone for 3 days, and this was the second time she ran off because someone on the next street has been sending up horrendous amounts of fireworks every weekend, as well as a few people around the neighborhood. I really would like to see something done about this. There is no enforcement. I do appreciate that the fire department comes out once in a while, but it's just really hard for all of us to deal with. Most people in the neighborhood are retired, and we moved out there so we could have animals and peace and quiet, and we are getting neither. Our animals are crazy, and we have no peace out there at all. It's just really horrible. Someone suggested to me that I suggest that there be an ordinance or something about having the people that have fireworks take them out in the country, in the middle of the small country.
That was the 2-minute public comment. There are no more public comments.
Well, the the fireworks issue seems to be uniting the entire community across political, socioeconomic, every line imaginable, is totally fed up and sickened by the imposition on our peace of mind, the imposition on our animals when we are not home, even when we are home. So I certainly appreciate the frustration. I don't know that another ordinance is the solution, as we have a current ordinance in place today, and it is not being followed. We have limited resources, limited personnel, but it is a remarkable frustration, and we as neighbors should be holding each other accountable and asking each other to be considerate of vulnerable populations, in particular our animals, as we're not even in the 4th of July Day weekend yet. So I appreciate the public's consideration of that. I have my own animals that have issues. I know my other colleagues have expressed it, that we should try to do better as a community to be considerate of each other. So thank you. This brings us to the end of our meeting. Thank you, Supervisor Couch, for your motion to adjourn to July 14th.